for higher GC News. Mima Obibia Akwaba had the latest hot enamede Bramo. And unti so you subscribe to channel idea, Bomodia say over subscribe. The way I say over click the subscribe button, you know. Now what barely notification. We have a video for be upload when the first person wants a ebeka a video. Afi we are now what like video no give us a thumbs up now fi share my for so that when you be here now we and somewhere koso ewo Ghana memo hadum. Afi yimbura ye semwa abeto yapono so yinkuti sa report here ababetu dwa mama yiti sansemu yi.
Yes, I think that removal of CJ nothing has happened. Adebia no ha see. The caution is just a tsunami in a teacup. Some individuals try to make it look like some upstage BS here. The whole focus of this country should be shifted to what is going on. So for me, I think sir, the caution ye de hunwa sabi nyansa biya nim. And my culture that I say the MPP as a political party, no, abaye a sinking enterprise. On the downward spiral. O had the cosuna anything bia a coswa fasoni subiano. Na obohu se na omakwa di achire. Because so far the process to remove Chief Justice no nye adea obeka se obia from mmerabia na say the constitutional provision as outlined in the 1992 constitution, you know. There has been any way be a obi ayabuso because processes no has been outlined. So you person remove Chief Justice through and anya there any say because constitutional frameworks not taught it wise a time will come somebody may become a Chief Justice and may decide to go wayward and I become a rogue agent or did the very sacred institution of judiciary and unti and that window was created in an event such a thing happen. This is the avenue that has been given to us as people. Now you can remedy the situation. So it's a constitutional framework. Our constitutional framework is not taught it wise. And now that process has been activated. It's not the first time such processes have been activated. Because in recent times, what happened to your friend is Madame Charlotte Osei as AC boss. The same process was activated. The same thing is a window that was created in the constitution. Akufo Addo used that particular process based on Nehemiah Koso. Till date, even in that petition, Nipo or this petition, there will be a nimno, but Charlotte Osei was removed. Abra Anas an investigation or the report echoye. President Akufo Addo suspended 4 judges. Yedi assembly no pamo munyina because of issues of corruption. President John Mahama and MPP 14 the council. Mami Afenyo Loretta, Lamte, our Shraj boss. She was appointed by Professor Mills. And not Dompreh, one other Richard Niyama in the MPP submitted a petition in 2016 to President Mahama. Abra committee ni na juma nyina hu say Mahameno nsem no mo kafa no no kre no the woman was removed. So activating such a constitutional provision to remove somebody from office it's not something a been see that mama about 4 instances. Yes. But the mere fact of be a Chief Justice doesn't mean also Ghana. No. The Chief Justice, just like any other person, working for the people of this country. So at any point in time, if Nema Oyeno is in direct contravention with established rules of engagement, you will need to suffer the consequences. As at now, nobody has. Chief Justice a free ho. But the MPP for ya, they are making it look like they have a particular interest in the CJ now. Because President Mahama by and Rana Mekani baby said individuals of Molusu or Mojuma Yeni Paketwa. Yeah. Oko your friend is saying Confanochia. CEO no say Omoyinedi. Yeah. Oko Tamala, CEO no hono, and several other individuals, high-profile individuals are more loose or more because of change of government. Why are they not protesting? Why are they not saying, say, these people are being hounded out? Why are they not challenging? But particular interest is placed on Chief Justice. Then it goes to affirm in some amount for a cancer. Maameno, Obia, Modinibe see ho, Sabe obe protective interest. You are only affirming that particular fact because as it stands now, processes not as ya go through now no emudia wo hen na fo memra petition na obi submitted ya kono Council of State share petition num na president take a decision na ewo constitution say all the right to do which aspect Omo mo ye demonstration no. Udi omo china bi say omo say demonstration nsem na omo kan nyina no. What constitutional infraction and a premised on? Nobody will be able to tell you anything sensible. Nothing sensible will be able to. They will tell you say be a way provision when a president na abuso.
Yes.
Is the reason why I branch the tam and some of the court because that particular suit was a foolish suit because president in exercising his executive functions as outlined in the constitution, no court can stop the president. So when I had a ruling and not say 3-2 no me came a ruling now but how the two dissented because it doesn't make sense because Niama Nana Ekosono no process. Constitution they say president a receive petitioner unforwarded to Council of State. There is nowhere in the constitution that says at that point, the Chief Justice must be given a hearing. Constitution, who go further say committee ni set up as a principle of natural justice, the accused must be heard. That one has been written in the constitution. Say you set up a committee and the Chief Justice must be heard either in person or by a lawyer.
Okay.
But at the early stages, that process is not an adversarial process. Any adverse finding can be advanced against the Chief Justice. And you just say petitioner doesn't meet the threshold a petition. Okay. Is it competent enough? It is not an adjudicatory body. I'll go into the merit of the issue. So at that point, so when the Chief Justice on the side of the matter per the constitution, we don't breach any law. What I say, but the president thought it wise at this point. You let me give her a hearing, and the woman was given a fair hearing. Council of State at issue, so near conclude say. And some at this point, there is merit. We can't just brush it. And then the constitution, that article whenever a committee is set up, president have a discretionary power to exercise. And that discretionary power is either to allow the Chief Justice to stay or allow the Chief Justice to suspend the Chief Justice. That provision, Edi we Ghana Bar Association na wo na wunimi mra na wo beka sa ansem we hu na say nye wo de wunyansa abato nchen na wabe speak to emotion, raw emotions as be nyansa anima. People will question you. Say mra na okosuyan rekra say bi people begin to question your integrity because it is quite clear and outlined the constitution say president have that power either to exercise or be suspend the Chief Justice, and in this case why exercise here? What is your problem? So for me, Sankara, there's any of these institutions and any of these parties here has been able to premise this whole argument. Oh, President Mahama article we see and you say, but so far this provision has been breached. Nobody will be able to tell you anything sensible apart from the emotional crusade campaign embarking on. And then Afenyo Markin, we saw in a video this is a sitting member of parliament assaulting the police officer in uniform. Like I was a way honorable person. Now when I'm Ghana ha, don't think being just honorable is enough to draw you respect. No, respect is a virtue we earn. We don't demand it. So you cannot force people. And the way a speaker now with the parliament now here, some of your members babon thing. Nasa asuban we no mo bedanedi. Nasa man for treated them with that contempt that they deserve. You cannot hold anybody to come and say we are inviting you before privileges committee, because if there is anything privileges committee, this individual should be standing there and be telling parliament why people will go out there and embarrass themselves in the manner that we saw. So for me, I'm expecting the IGP and his team will make sure this particular issue they don't brush it aside, because the MPR sort of police officer now say you let it go, you slide and nothing happens. At the end of the day, and ordinary people will be assaulting police officers, and in that case you can act. You understand? We cannot just be creating a lawless country where people think because they empower they can just do anything and get away with it. In the first place, a demonstration because it's not premised on anything sensible. They've not been able to tell us why they are doing the demonstration. No constitutional provision has been breached. There hasn't been any way what is the basis? But I've always said demonstration protestations are legitimate constitutional tools a man for employed to register their displeasure. Allow them to demonstrate, but Ghana for will know them for who they are. But this particular way na yakwa no, the guy has crossed his Rubicon, and for me, this is the time for the state to show, say indeed, some of these things, this nasty occurrence, cannot be allowed to slide, because at the end of the day, if things like this, where an honorable, so-called honorable person is seen in the video assaulting a police officer, when the police officer is in the uniform, he is not representing himself, he is representing the authority of the state, and this is a minority leader assaulting a police officer. It's a big issue. Oh, exactly. You, because and Ghana, we can do the same thing. You understand?
Because now who MP no your parliamentary duty now.
No.
Parliament is on recess.
Yes, and the police officer has a duty, and I'm saying that these are bunch of your friends, shameless individuals. And the MPP as a political party, 8 million kukudwa catcher and say, they care so much about democracy to the extent say we need to save our judiciary. These are a bunch of jokers nobody should take serious.
Thank you, sir.
Were they in this country when Akufo Addo was taking those silly decisions? Now dented the credibility of our judiciary. When the gentleman was packing the court with non-friendly people in the MPP, where were they? These are a bunch of jokers. I think that we don't even need to waste time on them, because say Niamana omo eka hwasemed no happen thousandfold under them, and during that time we saw massive and flagrant constitutional breaches. For instance, look at how your own friend Domlivo, how he was treated. Nipana ye di asemadi no or court ye tenasema ye friends or retirement and ye di asem no, and several such occurrences happen okruma. What is a Ghana bar situation? Sorry, and suddenly you find your voice, you think people respect you because you are a lawyer. Hey, come on. You see, sadly, man, when you meet ignorant people who don't know their left from their right, if you want to be respected, when okasa, you need to prove that indeed you are educated, you are a lawyer, not just because dini da okay. What does that make?
All right. Me da say yanko yanim na owura dubo Kwabena dubo inda eda yoko cells. Yeso wa start here what 2020 niama. Minim de ode ni form man de. Ana 7 days na so. Oma you know. Okay. Nti wase enyapade ni bi wono mo a attorney general de abono, but wode ne yiri nyina sanya pade nyomo de a. Yenim sa politicians bo enyapade a mo de mo girlfriends mo busuafo. Edi na tutu nti monye lifestyle audit of all their family members. Lifestyle audit. All their family members. Abrabo mo boni sika na de, because sometimes dan ni bi wono mo a normally amoma mo busuafo so we dey asuma sidia. Ebinim form din ye eti eno no honorable veterans na fe yenwie wie ni yakọ ebie wase saying wase former okay also no innocent na remonacha and deliberately no was misrepresentation of any distortion of facts and seven back couldn't be so what the about honorable yakọ time so aka 5 minutes yakọ
okay Newo minister
Endra omonyi ni phone free nisam
Endra Unicolendi ebisa Gofredami question when to me boy and I say listen to Unicolendi, show us the clause in article 146 where it states the timeline for the notifying the Chief Justice that a petition for her removal has been received. Damian to young Kaushi is a asem ayer kwasasem. Etiefo. Nia ekoso ni nyina no. One say who ko share article 146 subsection 6 subsection 10A. Nia mahamaye ni nyina edemufua.
Yopo.
Oh, one say my minya lawyer no, but my shada kum.
So shamra.
Yes.
We are formal lawmaker.
146.
Shamra.
0.6. Okay, we are now called 0.10. Okay, we are now called 0.10A. Now we say be biada hopefe. Inti inde ye bisa MPP for say omumbrambe chire ye bebia Mahama Fum His Excellency Efa Torkonoo ni suspension wa omuntumi nyobeka chiro ni say oh na Mahama petetem enunti no hesa de no mahu MPP for support grassroots Mr. Mo Afenyo Markin omuni menukure but debi omu dadamu.
Yeah.
Debi omu dadamu. The first minority leader Osi police abunu and now no bu police ni onini Afenyo Markin. Afenyo Markin ka kire Ghana for say onu de se hwin fa ne ho. Entinu NDC for na bebu nkunta ama Ghana for in 2028. And notice Asemba or no between time now NDC for the nature at the end of the day no now 4 years no now son. Inti Misramwa Afenyo Markin MPP for don't listen to them. His Excellency is following the Constitution. Say Assembly wa His Excellency aye enya MPP for Omunfambra.
Yeah.
In going for third term, we cannot use the judges, the Supreme Court judges, for a president, a sitting president to go for a third term. You can't use parliament because it is an entrenched clause. And in entrenched clause, you must go for a referendum. Now, sa referendum no MPP for Betuaba, NDC for Betuaba. And no number yes or no, yes or no. Afenyo Markin on you waiting now.
Yeah.
They do it. Into politics no more yet.
And so far, so good.
Oh, but I think that that be on this show now you can have some has to do with the rate at which na dollar no.
FM 92.3.
Na epia kwan. Enti na ya opportunity abana sa kwanya abana the same no eba from na CD no appreciate here. I think say something that we need to speak and yambo government about so be able to also because you see yenuan mo wa kwanto bi hu say dollar na swat ya but na bi no video. I know say it's just for the fun side of it.
Okay.
But the reality is say dollar no could do 20 cedis. Na wadwe ni say wo send sika kakra bi ba krom ha na eso a inflation ne prices of things it take away.
Okay.
What I say. So the more dollar no cost no nema bo mum na cost because krom na im produce hwe wa ha. The sikana what the baba wadwe ni say o me the $100 bar 20 seed way $2,000 no e bia ye fan say agoro na wo hu ni sa ba wo deep adwen mu a otimu say dollar no the more e kosoro no
the more na nyama
because car na turn 50,000 quite recent and I'm 2.5 billion 50,000 your fan say cedis car and I'm 2.5 billion all because of the dollar and the other charges are also on the pot. So the more dollar no cost no any impact be a meant na be in Gaza na take on a send ka krabi ba way and as answer na yam krasem and I think say yatin near ma say na said sikano timi fall na a bad down I don't know the day na kakra bi abenya wa ha no you can make purchases around the world.
That's right.
E ma near ma boy e dia mama near ma bo nipa hwan hen no ko da sora na every day bi ayeto near ma mu no is because of some of these things because on my no ye production hub bia.
That's right.
Now my even common contomere kra na ye kra engo ne na say
contomere bi wa ha
ne na say for oh ye kra ne nyina from Burkina Faso so you can go and check nema ye kra e mo ne na say for no so such a country no one way o currency no went to me and stabilizing it.
That's right.
So the air cost I think that is a perfect opportunity for us to also do turn around by making sure that we produce a lot of the things by making this industrial hub a reality. Sabe ya neman be bring na time sika kwa bonten enkwa na be sika no. Eno why the last time I make say your currency ya ikra ende. We need a new foreign exchange act in Yobi. But right. I think say here a very radical one.
That's right.
Very radical one that take dollar away from the hands of individuals. Sa abochi for mote your friends say kwan ho okwa obetime nyo over about $50,000 to over $300,000.
Exactly.
Because all these monies are coming from the central bank. I'm for normal and I connive collude sikana could do the central pool sikano. So I think say na mamu ototo nema ya and I think say Ato Forson and the finance ministry, the government at the whole at this time, you know. We say pe abina sem kra na when it comes to how the dollar has been managed within this short period now. I think it has been.
But okay, once our dollar and the dollar near 12 cedis 30 pesos.
Yes.
12 cedis 30 pesos. But I knew His Excellency Kennedy Agyapong.
When I Excellency Kennedy.
Our Central University of Chile, a ma abaning take advantage. of the international world no and I say World Trade Center and I say a great deal our man say no and then the woman demanded dollar. And as to I don't know, I say me I'm no moon demanded dollar no match. Anything about the sentiment abandoning take credit. Uchi and if you are not my
Alaska, I think there always politics, you know, a grow mint, you know, obiat me kind of be a fan hoodie. Alaska, why the dollar demand that from?
That's right.
The dollar remains the common currency. What transaction happen?
Varuo.
Sa sikano masha say Brits and as for the only time I say. Now one who single currency da.
No.
Alaska, there is no serious international transaction be a cost what. When you that transaction in dollar, people will agree. Do you know why? Because the dollar has proven itself to be the most stable currency around the world.
Wow.
And it's a year transaction in the dollar now. Oh, mocha. That is the sole explanation why you say America na ye way. There's so we see people are trying to read geopolitical meanings into some of these. Yes, America is the economic powerhouse of the world. And the currency, you know, has proven to be the most stable currency over the past several years in the Alaska. And it is in the advantage of every business community, every business person. Be I say, whenever I'm doing my transaction, I'll do that transaction in dollars. The Chinese currency, you can't do transaction because so it is not a stable currency.
Okay.
I'll bet me any transaction be a program say in the next 10 years, you know, say there's a what I say. Say the dollar demand has always been high.
That's right.
There has been this geopolitical tension among for Russia, China, and other way are trying to find other means. And the way there because so. And countries are trying to say that here in Nigeria for trying say Sydney in Nara no ye de bedi ehu dwa ye to ade betu an wem. Some of these things are quite right. But it does not mean say dollar no people are not chasing after the dollar. It has always been and say asem na can is anything to go by Alaska. Now say amount from per dollar ni ntwa no okro ma say. So why are we Argentina Ghana na ye fan say yes, your currency no appreciate it. It is not the dollar that is devaluing. It is the currency, our Ghana currency that is appreciating.
Okay.
And it is not happening by accident. Because the amount for making demands for dollar krana, it doesn't mean that dollar free. You need to something has happened and amount dollar Abba has say.
Okay.
What has happened American? So the economics within this whole thing is Alaska. Whenever there are many people in your country chasing for the foreign currencies na aba aye dollar na dollar so e put pressure
on the dollar
e man bo kosoro. So whenever the demand is low and I say there are excess inflows of dollars in this country and the demand no former and my currency need to be appreciated my way. So these are basic economics. So for him to say in some now can say we as I don't know Nigeria currency and performing as it stands now, Ghana's currency is the best performing currency in the whole of Africa as we speak.
That's right.
And in the world no, the last 2 weeks Bloomberg rated it to be the best performing currency. Why not the Zambian kwacha? Why not the Nigerian naira? Why not other currencies? It is because something is being done.
Okay.
To ensure that they stabilize the economy. And you see, you may not like the government, instead of you may not like Ato Forson, you may not like Mahama, but don't take away, Charlie. These are bold initiatives or put in place. Ghana for Ehu. Na say, Sanema way, because Adabena, we are forecast on $1 because this Brexit, America, your friends said this, your friends saying. Sikaya ye kan ho asemi Russia ne Russia ne China ne na se for almost ye ho asemi enya na start here. So since when and China for and there are people who are also linking it to the trade war and as for and even that particular thing has been normalized and China and America have agreed to slash this trade system by 115% across board. I know the day no. So Alaska, there has been a phenomenal work that has been done by the finance ministry within this short space. And again, and run make catch it is idea about common form pay attention to has to do with your friends say the gold board and
that's right.
Alaska. One of the good things about that back or currency anywhere is the gold. Fortunately for us, and we have created a central pool. gold na amanfo nam suma se ne na sefo ni nyina akọ no nyina will have to go through a single channel.
That's right.
That is the gold board. So at the end of the day, say you refine gold you and say you add value to it and say we are just selling na. At the end of the day, the sika will come directly to the central bank.
Good.
And that is money, dollars coming.
And about central bank flow into the economy.
Exactly. So these are deliberate measures, mechanisms that are buying now are springing in motion. A whole effect and then as for the mobile. Now to say it is happening by global accident. Way some to be a president can same way. If you don't understand that and if you don't have anything to say, just shut up. Because we've been here. We know the promises that were made to the people of this country, the economic wizard, the agenda of Bawumia say or betche dollar and they send the bottom. Ato Forson baby and Casso betche dollar send the bottom. Lord your friend saying keys ama IGP. But here we are. The numbers are speaking. What I say, he's not talking. This morning I met him a call and then on finance ministry. A friend say inauguration of Cocoa Board where chairman and the gentleman has been very phenomenal. And they are still not even taking praises.
That's right.
But he still thinks Ghana for the Juma DA as a buying sasa onye. And until said that thing no ever materialize, you have no rest. Dollar number be agent, people are still hoping that can cut down crab 1 cedi. They could do 1 cedi.
All this crown on fire economic make two giant.
Dollar no could do 1 cedi now bogus in never fear because 1 cedi $1. Would you $2,000 or America no be 2,000 cedis or Ghana. So Alaska, you see the reason why among for appreciated things and they say it is the currency depreciating, and I'm for two coins. Exactly. Because Kufo pensioner, some rather na a band and get me maintaining $1 to 1 cedi and go be an over 2 coin. Because you know more 2 coin quabro
and was a Juma.
Alaska, me say averagely, Oko Yuka averagely a 2,500 to 3,000 your friend saying pounds. And I'm for G. What I say? And what's Ghana Hananka would get 3,000 cedis. I said Ghana average pay 3,000 Ghana cedis. Average pay. That's right. And this can't me balance here. Even living in Ghana and working in Ghana is even far better than working abroad.
And this a two bomb no more than the dollar near where bogus about Kurumano.
Oh, I say about $1 the amount for a fee. And I saw what you have for so because Ghana what the banana basis. And I'm for so basso now. Was a son in power day. That is why Ghana food to kind of check baby or sense scanner. Doubled because that is common sense. And I was none baby. So Alaska, I think the air cost I just hope things will continue, but it's not just about the cedi appreciating or the dollar falling. Alaska, and no anyway the impact of Ghana for a penny say. Ebenya impact our one system and that system na say nema bo eba form okoto ID milk okoto wine okoto car okoto cement okoto weya that particular thing must reflect. I've seen this your friends say resistance from Guta money are buying back and forth and make deadlines as to when. I understand them because you see Alaska this is business. I'm
not cutting you short and let me real supermarket and now changes take shape.
Some because
some of them never maybe I met torn about 2 weeks ago. Me do another Mexicano medical says also there be yatiso.
And I won't say we are not Ghana for a very dishonest people.
That's right.
Kind of cry and a tin or on so Alaska, especially when it comes to laptop, electronic gadgets, TV, those kind of way, quite high prices because they tell you say we bought it in dollars.
That's right.
And the dollar is depreciating. And you see, there has been assurance, and now it's even coming down to 12 cities and so forth. And from sources, it's going to stay here for long. What I say, it's going to stay here for long. So I think that we need to make a deliberate effort and making sure say car prices and so forth will come back to 50,000. Yes, Alaska, because the way car is very expensive in this country now. Ubisa we yamba shows a woton or chroma kana one tom frabontina. Now, yet me yes, I near my way average Ghanaian feel impact in the dollar depreciation. Any moment yet the economy right. A table for man as a Ghana for Alaska, I don't know any impact be. So I think the trajectory and we need to, and the reason why I deal with me comfortable with it within the short term is Alaska. As you say, yam back with this industrial drive.
Exactly.
So make sure say industrial hubs no be creative o hana ya shas ya manufacture produce niama wo kroma creative jobs a cut down on import because maybe beba ye be sesa ye dollars na wo krom nyina kokra niama de aba e be sia kosuru bi e ho be kwa atwe. What I say?
At least you body the shocks, no?
Exactly. These are the shock absorbers that you need to build. So you better cut it down on the amount of money you take abroad. And yes, Anna, because the dollar has always been a running currency. It is running, and then a human no until so batini break, you know. Right. We need to make deliberate effort to ensure. Say you be pulling the brakes just to ensure dollar stabilization. Not Ghana for any effect and impact. Now the cost no obi general be a catch say global shocks. I'm talking about them because Alaska.
I would say.
Oh, about them because global shocks, you know, I didn't think Egypt for him feeling impact. I didn't think and global shocks in Ghana and Kwan. It's not global shock. A deliberate effort that has been activated. Yeah, pragmatic policies being activated as a forum. As I open them the door.
I was all this, you know, way a preliminary way.
Preliminary now.
I mean, I say, right, Ivan Chino Center now, otchere in Ghana.
Bosheba, he says,
John Dramani Mahama.
Diomo Peno. I know the bad no I more mono. Into the Ghana for Sheno, and on one side, because the dollar was a problem. And you stable. Into Ghana for a soon. A shade him say.
But only say before Saudi will be taking place. Now, and people were calling your mama who promises $1, but then $1 cost. And the same people and
they are complaining some dollar. There's no more transaction. And no more dollar. Because Alaska, or the most serious no we can find asida. Emma oba de twedi amponya kopo bibi oni aba bedu eda na se e share ni din medical cham yere Matilda Duchi say men na se support or the mind all
that's
this,
right.
Yeah, she's been a backbone and we thank God for that. Alaska Mechia Ashama branch executives in any party executives in Alaska seriously no
92.3
the issue of the dollar no enya idea. I was say the MPP. A yomu in Nije, and now some of us say they are mounting a strategy to create some negativity in the minds of Ghanaians.
Okay.
As you said, the Ekos Union Anno, say with a fracture, and you be and our born humording. And I say, Namubia
92.3
Obi, a baby, and Obi Nidi, His Excellency John Dramani Mama, and then this and for so we at the brain. Clearly, there is a leader, and it's a leader who is championing the cause, and the results is what Ghanaians are getting. Because before nobody take you off leadership, you know, catch a Ghanaians in 120 days, you know, may see. Last week, yet now I see, near more kinds within 120 days, and some quarters in a beer rating 52%, in some quarters, a 60%. Ebi man 70%. Ebi so asem mo kan se papa ne ba no Ukraine meaning. Se ehwe na na mo tu ni kwan so ofade ye ne niam na o ye niam na se na si fata. Ama Ghana fo enya mfa so se na wo so mo ye se. Sinya no. Last week I said na se look, experience is the best teacher.
That's right.
And it's about that this issue of the dollar no. It's not a nightmare. It is a carefully thought through by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the current crop of experienced people around him. Don't forget, the same Setekwe, who happens to be the finance minister then, and the current finance minister being his deputy, the same Setekwe is around His Excellency John Dramani as
advisor.
You understand? Yeah, Papa, the former governor of the Bank of Ghana, NIB boss. You understand? He is still around. And all these think tanks are there. So don't think that they have folded their arms and put their hands behind their back. And then something is just coming by magic. Because US, you know, and as a whatever crisis that the US is having with China and Canada, no, and I offer sign them away there, but it is never true. Because in any case, you know, if money is not exchanging hands, that's an music claim now. Which of the projects His Excellency Nando Dan Kwaku Addo, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Baya was easy.
Very well.
And now I'm not going to say, maybe last week, last week, me for all more. Who say I block you, Sony, I block you, Sony.
That's right.
And then, Kokoshe. And then, go and look at it. And so now, block here, and then, ye syphilis, ya cast concrete, ye peja. And what means say ye rather than chase Ghana no.
And yes, still.
Ufa doing ya kwan we so, doing ya kwan we so. You see, ye chicken for adwin ababesi we so. So when the lies of Kennedy Agyapong, the lies of Afenyo Markin, Ekoko General some kasa, Civil Transfer some kasa, omunji omunsem omokano. If you are saying that we are not spending money, no problem. I'm giving you examples of projects. Now today, if you are telling us that Uganda is not spending money, those projects that have started, where is the money coming from?
Right.
Because the way you can we, Alaska Sobekaya, the way you can we, 2 years. As a nado da Akufo Addo be so refi abemun, na the way you can we nija. Omunya hwehwe. Ene, kokoshe do nya. Kokoshe do nya kwan so. Speedily go and see the level of development that is going over there. So you are telling me that there's no money exchanging hands, and as escaping and escaping aba you see the clear case and say look, somebody knows what and somebody knows what to do, and because onim dey also ye awaye bi dan ntino onim say me and maybe atwemu no amane be 2 mini na manye be to me no mi hu se me nko mi nyansa entimi nya den entimi nya bibia entimi tu anamon bi anamon na mi tu ye no mi nya ho faso na ho faso na mi nya na nche ana Ghana for eyi mi fi so ana ya no bae omo bae be nya ho faso for one solid year 2017 up to the end of 2017 say AC the chiase no and Ghana started say Kofu say meet me to say anamon we and Ghana for nya ho faso then let me start it at the early stage of my governance. That is the more reason why the economic policy forum no has to the economic forum no has say it take place, and this is a result that Ghanaians are yielding as a result of the economic forum that we had.
Right.
What I say, this is a result that is yielding because all the things that are taking place, and it's suggesting the economic think tanks in the look, this current government have taken them serious. And that's what we are working at. So nobody look, and you see these people where they are funny.
Now I rap about
that. So Hina ne catch and say in the year 2000, His Excellency Fly Lieutenant General John Rawlings be 12 abemuno, na $11 cities, and $12 cities. The dollar was around 96 pesos or 92 pesos. Go and check.
Very well.
It was Kufo for whatever reason or whatever political points or so score no, and all running it up and $1 1 city for cheap political propaganda. And so under His Excellency Fly Lieutenant General John Rawlings, even under that 10 and the crap no more on my criticized demonizing man the crap no, the dollar no, the city to the dollar no, what I say, it was not 1 city, it was less than 1 city to $1. You see, one thing about these people, they said they always want to find a way of making Ghanaians to believe, say, when it comes to the management of the economy, no, they are best. But God being so good, no, my baba will go win mass. I'm a ne, or my finance minister crap on nothing idea. So, who is all a fine brain. The economic messiah, Bawumia.
You waiting for winning and someone about beto yapono so make say so you subscribe to channel idea but more than say over subscribe now while like video don't give us a thumbs up now fi share my wo for so now when you be here now and someone also e wo Ghana memoir also betimi atchere wadwen afa ye some way nyira ho e wo comment box mu obeti me kabi in my next video.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.